afraid to let them know when the struggle is real. The struggle's been real for all of us. Hey beautiful people, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name is Dolores and I'm going to be talking about 12 tips on finding a great mentor, securing a great mentor. So before shooting this video, I went on my Instagram and I asked, do you have a mentor? Why or why not? Here is what I found. You need to learn from someone else's mistakes. Perfect one. Because they can guide you, because they did it already and can hold you accountable. Mentorship is very important because it can get you somewhere. A few different mentors for different areas of their life, which I think is a fabulous tip in itself. This person's so sweet, one of my mentees who has become a great friend. Yes, you, because you are cool, smart, and humble. Thank you, Lourdes. I appreciate that. I also asked folks what's holding them back from finding a mentor, and here's what I found. Can they be trusted? So we want to know, can the mentor be trusted? We're going to be telling them our business. I mean, sometimes it doesn't get super personal with the mentor, but we're going to be pretty vulnerable with them, especially we want them to be helpful to us. One person also says their career avenue keeps changing, so that's definitely a concern they have with finding mentors. That finding a mentor makes them feel like they lack something, but they're glad they did it because it's been so helpful. So I love that. A lot of times when we're asking for help, we feel like we're bothering someone or that we're lacking something, but I'm so glad that this person said that they ended up ultimately finding out that it was helpful. So I'm going to go into my tips right now. So the first tip may be obvious, but this is to find a professional who's in your niche, so in the field that you want to go into. And if you're already working in the organization, you can find this mentor within your organization. But if you're not, you can find this mentor within LinkedIn, social media. I've had a few people slide into my DMs and I've loved it, especially if you come correct. And stay tuned, I'm going to tell you how to come correct. And then another avenue is to volunteer. So if you're not in the organization or the type of niche that you want to be in, but you know the type of area that you want to be in, volunteer. Find out if there's internship opportunities or volunteer opportunities for you to get in there and then meet different people, and hopefully you'll find someone who could be potentially a great mentor for you. A lot of times we get so afraid to reach out to a potential mentor because we start to hold them way above where we are, when we have to realize all of us are human at the end of the day. None of us are above God, first of all, and we're all human. We've all had to get to where we are, and for the most part, I believe everyone wants to get to a next step in their career. So my hope is that we would all want to help each other. So never feel like you can't reach out to a specific mentor. And if someone is standoffish, that's okay. That's not the mentor you want to have anyway. So then you would just move on to the next and find the next mentor, and that is totally okay. I've had different recent graduates DM me, and I'm going to put this one up on the screen. I love the way she just flat out said, hey, I noticed that you have an MSW. I'm looking into social work too. What advice do you have for me? That was perfect. She said what her interest is. She said how she realized that we could connect. And then she just openly asked me for advice. That is a perfect way to slide into someone's DM that you want to potentially mentor you or just find out more information from them. And so I love when recent grads or new professionals do that. I'm going to show you a recent email that I sent to a vice president in hopes that she would be a mentor for me, because I potentially want to become a vice president or a dean one day. Currently, I'm an assistant director in my role, so I took the leap after meeting someone at a conference who knew this particular vice president in my organization and gave me the confidence to go ahead and reach out to her. So of course, in the subject line, you want to state your intent. I don't like, it's a pet peeve when folks email me and there's no subject. So you want to make sure you have a subject line with the intent. A lot of times I'm pretty forward with my intent so that they can open it and know why I'm emailing them. There are times that I get a text message or DM or email from someone who just starts with, hey, how are you? And I'm like, well, thanks for asking. I do appreciate it, but how are you? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, sis, what do you want? Like, let's kind of get to it. So of course it's nice to say, how are you? Or kind of give the greetings. Like I always say, I hope this email finds you well, or something of that nature. So it is nice to kind of give that salutation, but then you want to also move forward with what are you asking for, so that way you can kind of eliminate the time that you're going back and forth. You want to make sure you kind of get everything in there. Make it concise, but then also be very professional in the way that you represent yourself, because at the end of the day, you're representing yourself. So you want to make sure that you do that well. So I basically gave her the normal, I hope this email finds you well. Then I started with why or how I found out about her. So again, this one was a little bit of an advantage because I didn't find out about her through someone, so I was able to use how I found out about her and introduce myself in that way. But I also want to point out that I inserted what my passion is and how that relates to her passion. So I said I'm eager and passionate about supporting and advocating for college students. I want to work effectively towards more leadership positions and would be honored to learn from you. So I made sure that I showed that this is what I would want to do and this is why I would be honored to learn from you, because what I'm saying also relates to the work that she does. One thing that I didn't do that I usually do like to see in email is to add in the days and times that you are available. I didn't do that for her in particular because she's a vice president and I know that she has someone who does her schedule. So I kind of left that piece open. But if you are emailing a person, I do recommend that you say, these are the times and days that I'm available if you are available to speak. And then I would just do, Mondays from 12 to 4 works for me, Wednesdays from 4 to 6. And I'm happy to suggest other times if these times do not work. That shows that you're going the extra mile and you're saving some back and forth with the email. So just to show that this works, this particular vice president did email me back and said that she would be happy to meet with me and would have her assistant set something up. The next tip is to keep an open mind when seeking mentors. So of course, as a Black woman, I'll keep it real. I do prefer my mentors to be Black women. There aren't many women or people that look like me. So when I do find a woman or a person that looks like me, I want that person to mentor me because it just makes it more realistic that I can reach that goal. But I want you to remember to keep an open mind. And I will say that in my doctoral research on mentorship, I did see that mentees do prefer someone who looks like them or identifies culturally as them. But my research also showed that mentees also enjoy having someone who is at least willing to have the discussions on what makes them different or what challenges they experience. So I say all that to say that I've had mentors who are different from me in terms of race or gender, and they've been amazing. And they're willing to speak about the different vulnerabilities or differences that I have as a young Black woman. So that's 3 different things that I always am interested to talk about as I climb the ladder in my career that ends up being a challenge for me. The next tip is to be transparent. You want to be transparent. Too often I find, and I've also made that mistake, is that I end up only wanting my mentors to know when things are going great. Like, hey mentor, guess what? I just graduated. Hey mentor, just guess what? I just got this great job. But a really good mentor wants to be your biggest cheerleader. So do not be afraid to reach out to them when you're in trouble or having a hard time, because that's what a mentor is for. They're there to help you troubleshoot. They've had that experience. They probably went through the same thing. So allow them to help you troubleshoot. Do not be afraid to keep in touch when things are good and when things are bad. I'm going to go into this next set of tips on what questions to ask, because they know that this person would be great for their niche area, would be a great mentor, but they're like, I know I need your help, but I just don't know where else to go from there. So I'm going to help you out. Ask them about their journey. Friend, people love talking about themselves, especially people who have accomplished certain things in their life. For the most part, they love sharing that. They love telling people about it. So a great thing to say just right off the bat is, can you tell me about your journey? I'd love to hear about your journey. And then you never know where their conversation will go from there. Another question you can ask is for them to tell you what they wish they knew when they were in whatever particular place in life that you are currently in. So if you're an undergraduate student, if you're a new professional, ask them what they wish they knew when they were in your space. This is going to be a great question to ask because, one, you're going to be able to navigate in a different way that they didn't, because now you have the edge on the lessons that they learned through their journeys. This is a question that's similar but a little bit different, and this is to ask what resources they wish they would have taken advantage of. So the other question is more of what they wish they knew, but then this gets more specific in what resources would you have taken advantage of. Ask them if you can share your background and your journey with them. This is a great way for you to share what you're going through, what you've experienced, and then from there, they can share some tips for you that are more tailored to your situation. So after this great conversation, if the vibes are right, because remember, it's a two-way street. So of course you're looking for a mentor, but you also want the mentor to be a great fit for you because you want it to be a long-lasting relationship. You ask, will you be my mentor? Go ahead, don't be shy. When you're asking them to be your mentor, is to be transparent about the expectation. You want to set the expectations or ask them what the expectations are, meaning, so thank you for, being my mentor. I really appreciate it. Is it okay to text you, or should I call you, or should we keep this relationship via email, or how often can I check in with you? Will it be quarterly, once a semester, once a month? You want to kind of set those expectations so you're never making them feel uncomfortable, but also so they're not making you feel uncomfortable. So you also want to tell them what your boundaries are as well. So that's all the tips I have. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love for you to comment with a tip, because I'm not a guru. I don't know it all. Comment with a tip on a great way to find a mentor. And also, if you don't have a tip, comment below that you are ready to use these tips to go secure your mentor. Just say, Dolores, I am ready to find my mentor with the tips that you gave. I love you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Don't forget, we are all still becoming. Peace.